So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stream. And what I was talking about is regarding FTX. They got liquidated, and I never thought that they would liquidate it anyways, but it happened. Now it's like the market is still in a very big turmoil. And yesterday, when I posted some charts regarding FTX, my plan was a retest of 18.5, dump to 14, and have a small bounce, basically a bearish retest again, and then further dump. And that's exactly how it played out. Rejection from 18.5. Of course, it went till 18.9, but that's fine. And it dumped to $14 and then bounced. So the plan played perfectly on the FTT. If you see here from the Fibonacci level perspective, it just played out so nicely. Now I wanted it to hold these levels and bounce if it really were bullish, but this seems to be like just going to zero. I have nothing to hold against it, but I think I'm not sure if this is like a bearish impulse or what, but this looks very, very strong, ladies and gentlemen. Even if you look at from this perspective, this is your wave one, and that was your wave two of something, and that's like and we are currently having a big volume on this dump for the wave three, so it can practically go to anywhere around sweeping the lows of sweeping the lows of $2.3, and a small bounce might literally happen towards a resistance of $7 to $8, and after further going down to literally under $1 and probably even to zero, because it's like a big bear cycle that we are watching right now in the FTX. It can literally go to zero. This is how the count looks like, not looking that great. A lot of investors, I'm not sure if you guys were involved. I think I mentioned the day of it happened, when a rumor was there that get out of FTX. Even in the beginning of 2022, I know something happened to me, and I was like, I want to move out of. It's not 2022, but 2021. If you remember, if you guys were here with me, that get out of the FTX exchange. I don't like it, and just switch on to the Bybit, and that's where in 2021. December, I started Bybit actually, trading on Bybit, and I think it was a good decision so far. I didn't have any funds on the FTX. Majorly, I play with Binance, Bybit, and Bitfinex. I have a funds. I have a KYC account on Bitfinex with Dubai address. So I think overall the things and the market not so looking that great, because this is like another Luna fiasco. Luna was like just a coin, but FTX is like an exchange. So and if an exchange goes insolvent, I mean, I don't know what to say further. But this is of course not a good sign for us anymore, actually, because this is literally going to deplete the trust and integrity of of the crypto market makers with the investors. So I think now the investors, the new investors, like a big institutional investors pairing with any exchanges, they will think like twice, thrice, and four times so before they go on board, actually, because you never know who is going to be next. So I don't have any big names in my mind, but I do think, guys, I just want to warn you one more time. I don't have any concrete data to back it up for, but don't, if you are trading on KuCoin, just get out of it. Trust me. I think something might be brewing as well. So if you are trading on KuCoin, just transfer your funds from there. Be safe. And right now, the most I would say the platform that is more and more secure one is Binance and Bybit. I also had a word with the Bybit manager and the team. I asked them first that whether you guys are safe. What are the financials, and what are the stuff going on in the Bybit. They what they mentioned to me is we have a policy of not doing any collateral, or because they don't have any tokens actually of their own. So they don't have any collateral. They don't play, they don't risk like other exchanges. They have the policy actually. So Bybit is safe, unless what they mentioned to me is probably in 2023 2024 they're going to launch their own coin. I mean, I'm not sure how good is going they're going to be, and but I'm personally going to invest in that. BitDAO is not their, own project, or you can say the Bybit coin. It's like one of the project that was scaled on that Bybit, but they're going to probably going to have their own coin launched. But what I'm trying to say here is, for now, the exchanges that come into my mind, which are I think it's safe, is Binance and Bybit, honestly. And if you really would want to, you're trading on Binance or Bybit or FTX, or you happen to trade on FTX, you can move on to the Bybit. The link is mentioned in my Twitter profile. So something you can support me with, support to me as well. So FTT, guys, it's dead. Don't try and just long the bounces, but you can play the levels. As I mentioned, 1.754 is the levels for a bounce. From those levels, a bounce towards 4.7, maybe 1 to 7.5, and further down to 0 is what likely, because you see Binance even buying FTX would mean that Binance is going to have their own coin running on the FTX for fees and everything, which means that practically the FTT is not going to have any value. So they don't have any use case now for FTT. So it's like a trash. So that is how the trash is going to work for. Now let's move on to the Solana, guys. A plan was a retest of this level of 30 and then further dump. And that's exactly how it went to $19, ladies and gentlemen. It swept $20 perfectly. Well played, ladies and gentlemen. And now what you want to see here is that if you just look at the Solana ecosystem, Solana was also a part of, more approached by FTX. So I'm not sure how it's going to work anymore, but this is like a final zone, which I think it's more likely the last levels for Solana to bounce, do or die kind of a thing. But what I see from the overall perspective, that this was our big wave one. You got a big wave two, and right now we are in the wave three. So practically, ladies and gentlemen, I think that we are just going to sweep the lows, and most likely, even if you look at from the pips perspective, the 138 and 1414 makes more and more and more sense to me actually. So let me just show you what is exactly and where is exactly 138 and 1618. Sorry. So if you just look at the 1618, that's perfectly lying around 11.5. And I think that is the levels I think we should be bouncing from. Last levels for, FT Solana to bounce from. Right now we are at 1 to 72 and bounce very nicely from those levels. But more or less what I think is just going to tank and further go down. The target for that is 1618, 11.5 is what I think. But anything under that is going to have a big cascading liquidation effect on the Solana and can even tank price to $1. Because I'm damn sure FTX is holding a lot of SOL as well, and that's going to have some or major impact on the SOL. But overall, the price action, if I just looks from the price action, this was your resistance, this was your support. A resistance, flipped into the resistance, and the price now have tested the range lows. So normally we have seen in the past and historically a lot of assets have done it. It normally goes to these levels, try a bearish retest and try to break on the upside. And if it fails to reclaim these levels, we can expect that one more move down like this. So practically a very, very interesting and a big bullish wolf waves formation might just literally happen over here. And the way it happened in the band, and once it goes down suddenly out of nowhere, we can see like 6 to 800% move on the upside from those levels. But practically, I think the 11.5 is a very cool levels for for it to bounce. Last levels, I would say, and your bull bear zone, which means that any wick under 5.39 would confirm that it's just going to go under $1. So that's your bull bear zone, ladies and gentlemen. I would not be playing leverage, of course. I would be most very comfortable in playing just bot bags, quick in and lose of the levels of 11.5, even on 1 hour or 15 minutes. I'm gonna close it because this is how the OB looks like on the Solana, and this is my plan for Sol. And let's see how things plays out, ladies and gentlemen. I would say just try and play spots till things looks better. Now let's talk about our total plan, perfectly played out, ladies and gentlemen. Our perfect, 886, this harmonic played so nicely. I do remember this harmonic. I think we are not yet done, ladies and gentlemen. We need to go down like this. The sweep of this is very, very necessary, because I think this is how the market is going to find its most important bottom actually. And we have took this harmonic is played out. Liquidity has been grabbed on the lows. The wave five is in. So practically, the it turned out that the move that we saw here was a bigger irregular expanded flat. This was your A here, B here, and C. So practically this was our big irregular expanded flat, ladies and gentlemen. So if you look at from the price action perspective, this was like a big some sort of a wave A, B, and C, something like wave A, or maybe wave one. And this is like another irregular expanded flat for wave A, B, and C, wave two. And we swept the lows, and now we are having a big move on the downside. If This is the levels, I think 2021 opens is going to be sweeping, which is going to 730 billion. So I do think if you really would like to short the thing, the shorts would be once we retest the green zone that we have here. The green zone at $891 billion. That's like the range equilibrium. You see this range. Remember this range. This was the deviation. I discussed about this over the live 2 days back as well. I expect this deviation, and once it breaks down, a bearish retest happened over here, short everything, and let the shit go down. What I mentioned was that the short zone would be 961 to 967.6 billion dollars, and that's exactly what's the short zone. If you remember, you can check everything in my corner, and from there it just dumped so far 15%. But I'm not convinced that we are bottom. Any move or a small leg on the upside towards 894 billion is like a short, and further dump it towards the levels of this. So practically you can expect a further dump of like 17 to 20%. So that means that Ethereum, the targets that we are having on ETH, let's say if we do get a push towards 1422, I'm not sure if we do get it, but if we happen to do happen to get that push up, I'm shorting it for sure and riding it towards $1,000, like a 30% move down on Ethereum. So 1420 to 1440, if you do get a retest, I'm shorting those levels, like this. But remember, as we are in the impulsive wave down, what we can do is we need to take this liquidity. So we might just go and retest 1356.6, those levels, and then further one more wave down, take the liquidity, go to 1121, those levels, and and then afterwards we do something like this, go up, and then further break down like this. This is how the market can literally go, because that would mean that this is wave one, two, a big wave three, sweep the lows, four, and then further wave down towards $1,000 for the wave five. So that's how I think the market normally should do. So I'm just I'm gonna play levels. The short levels for me is right now in the lowest time frame for the ETH is 1356 to 1358 with invalidation above 1405, with the take profit targets of any sweep under October lows of 1178 and goes to 1121. And practically, one more push up like this and then dump like this. And after that, we may look for a push up, or it's just going to dump like this to those levels. So practically, because this looks to me like clean A, B, and C, that's W, A, B, and C, X. And now we have to A, B, C. So one more push down makes more sense. And that would be our A. We're going to have our B, October, 441440 retest. And then we're going to have our C going towards $1,000 or even go to $987. So I do think Ethereum is going to hold its levels because, look at the Bitcoin dominance. It's pumping right now. But despite of the pumping, Ethereum is holding the levels very nicely. So I do think that Ethereum, ETH BTC is going to hold its levels. I would be more and more bearish on ETH once Bitcoin dominance start breaking above the red line. Once it flip this 41.39%, then it would mean that we are going to pump like this, which would mean that Bitcoin is going to be a little bit stable and also are going to start bleeding, and that's where our shorts trigger for the overall move. So that was the plan for ETH. The level of interest on ETH on the lower some time frame, I would like to say is 1356, 1360 with a stops above 1400. I hope everything is well. Yeah, cool. And after that, one more sweep down, take the liquidity, go to the 1121, anyone go 1121 levels, bounce from there towards 1440, and for the B wave, come back down. This is going to be A, B, and C. Now, this is how I would like to see the market goes. The most bearish case in the whole structure, on the whole scenario, is if we straight away dump from here towards sweeping the lows of straight away dumping from here, goes to the levels of 950, 960, then I think it's more bearish, because it would then mean that this is doing bearish impulse and it will go down to $700, and then it would mean that I'm going to literally get the shit out of our longs. Even if I have to close at break even, I will do that. But I'm just prima facie waiting for 1360 levels for the shorting. BNB, I mean, the plan was perfect. It's just that the news literally had this big move on the upside, went, took the liquidity over there, retested it, and just went nuts. I think now it's time. I think BNB is going to go to 264, ladies and gentlemen. Similarly with the link as well, as you can see, so it just went near the range lows, very much bearish. Any retest, if you do happen to get around 7.6, could be a short, like a pre-short, like this, and you can just probably ride it to the lows. It is going to sweep this lows, it is going to sweep this lows, ladies and gentlemen, so be prepared. 6.2 is going to be taken care of, and I do think it can literally go to the big levels of 5.49%. Now let's talk about the als like CRV literally lost the levels of 87 cents. I was having the stop limit order there. I got stopped out at 86.4. There was some spread actually. So I got stopped out and on my spot bags, but that's fine. The risk was managed. Now it's like CRV is prime for the 60 cents target, and even more, because this ABC and this pump makes me feel that this is not something like WX, and it has to do something like this. Can even sweep the lows up and go toward 40 cents. The bullish narrative is invalidated. USD dominance. Remember, I mentioned that the blue zone can be like a fake breakdown, a reclaim, and once it reclaims, can have a bullish impulsive move. Yesterday, I was having some hopium that there is a possibility that this harmonic might plays out, but that harmonic is now looks invalidated, because now we have a clean 5 waves of A, B, C, and now we are having impulsive move, guys. So right now, what you need to understand is you need to simply look for the levels that we have here, and the levels that we have tells us, if you just check it out, is 0.886 is here, and 786 is here, and after that is, I mean, it's just going to be certain death. So I think the move that we got here is more likely A, B, and most likely I think 9.02% should be the last levels if you do need to reject. So this can be, from here, you can expect a rejection going down to 5.24%. But if you look at from the total perspective, does the plan match? Yeah, 10-12% matches, but anything about 886, it would mean that we are dumping heavily, and this would be the final wave 5 for the USD dominance, which means that on the overall bigger scale, if we do happen to break this and go past above the highs, remember, absolutely last wave up, and this is your bear market bottom, because after that, what is going to happen is we're certainly going to go for a bigger accumulation, and something like this. It's just going to have a big chop. So accumulations are going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. If suddenly we start flipping these levels and go up, last levels for me 10.48%, the end of the story, and the bear market should get over by those levels. Like the whole market further dumps from the current levels, like 30%, as I mentioned, for ETH going down 30% to $1,000 makes more sense. That's why I'm bidding, and Bitcoin as well. I would like to bid. I'm just personally waiting for Bitcoin. You look at our chart. This was our bearish chart that I had. I posted it as well. Not looking that great. We have got our bearish retest of the trend line, if you remember, on 20,685, and it just dumped. If you even look at this move, we just hardly took the sweep of this lows. If you look at the CME as well, this is like a big, now this level should not be acting as a resistance, because if we do act this level as a resistance, then certainly this is how I see the market should do. So practically, I think 16,800 was the level it bounced from across the board. So I think we want to see one more push down to mark a bottom, form a bull divergence across the board around 15K, maybe even can go to 14K. So I'm just going to patiently wait for till Ethereum don't reaches 1,000. I'm not going to touch any longs. That is my very short thing. Remember the number 1,060 to $1,000. Still, if you don't go there, don't touch any longs. Once ETH starts going to close to those levels, start building slow and gradual longs with 1x, 2x, 3x, and that's how you build. Don't go more than 7x leverage. Trust me, you don't want to go more than 7x, because even if you play 7x, ideally I would say don't go more than 5x leverage, because that gives you that even if ETH has to go dump from $1,000 to 20%, which would mean that ETH has to go to $800, which means that the liquidation price would be somewhere around $800, which means that still you would be on a safer side. So I would say don't go overboard on the ETH as well. Play very wisely. Risk is something you have to manage. Total 2 looks like it rejected perfectly from our levels, swept the lows, but I'm not convinced that the bottom is in. Bearish retest, and then further down to the 886, which is around $458 billion on the total 2. That's what I'm banking on to hold these levels. And similarly for total 3, also are going to get crushed very, very big time, because you see, that was our plan and my plan. I was looking for one more push up and not straight away like a distributive top and then dump, to the 2017 all-time high levels. So now it has just gone very deep under those levels and turning those levels as a resistance. So practically the first level plan was a perfect rejection of the golden pocket zone, and even this resistance that we have here, it's like now, the if you look at from the perspective of the range that we have, if we do hold this level, ladies and gentlemen, we can see a push up like this. That was the plan, but the problem is we swept these lows. So I think a bad retreat of 2017 all-time highs and then further dump to the range of support makes more sense the way all the alts did. But however, if 2017 all-time highs is reclaimed as a strong support on the daily, then I think that we might see that local bottom is in and the alts are going to have a very nice recovery on the upside. So practically, 15 to 20% move on the downside is awaiting for the alts, ladies and gentlemen, till we are staying under 2017 all-time highs. Similarly, I would like to say Matic plan was also perfect. Just went so nicely. Look at those move who all were bullish, and things played very nicely for us. We made nice gains on the longs. We were perfectly booking all the profits time on time with the levels. Ethereum also we book almost majority of the profits we book at the top, and the balance profit that we had for 40%. I got out around 1400 and something on the not 1400, I think. I got out around this level, around these levels. 1500 and this blue box 1546, lost this and we are getting out, so we got out this. BTC, yeah, we got around 19,800 for the 40%, and the rest of we have book profits around these levels. So I think pretty much we are in a very comfortable position. BNB also I mentioned to take partial profits around 311. I also took like 30% profits there, and I ride practically covering my stop loss plus 10% more profit. So even I got stopped out, but my net trade was in profit for like 6.5% after there was some spread and fees. So yeah, but still that was a net gains. Link we made 2% gains, if you remember, 2.2%, and I think pretty much looks great to me that overall I think that market is looking for a move on the downside. This remember the numbers on the total 891.9 billion is where I'm looking for shorts. Similarly for ETH, the numbers are 1356, 1360 with an invalidation of 1405. Bitcoin, if you really ask me, I would like to see the July lows being now acting as a strong and weird resistance of 18,800 and 18,900 with the stops above 19,200 and the target of sweeping the lows and going towards the levels of 16,622, and maybe when it goes to 14,724, ladies and gentlemen. So play very wisely. I'm going to give some short, aggressive short with a very tight stop loss. One more thing is I think the US election is going upside down. Most likely the Republicans are coming back, is what whatever the news I've seen so far uh, from the market. So despite of the fact that Democrats will keep the Senate, the Republicans might select the House, but the majority might not be expected. So far, the wind is that it is in favor of Democrats. But as you know, Elon Musk wants Republicans to come. So I'm not sure how it's going to turn out in the end. But if Republicans come, then I think we're going to mark a generational bottom on the market. The market is going to dump, and then it's going to reverse very hard, very quick, ladies and gentlemen. And if Democrat stays in the picture, then I think the market is going to be in the sideways and the bear market for like as long as 2023 whole year actually. So that's what I have to say, and this is like the only chart that matters now is the USA dominance 9% and then 10.5 total 800 and 92.9 892.6 billion, and then the big levels are 738 billion each. The only chart matter is first level is 1360 1350 1360, and then 1440 levels, the $1000 level. These are the levels which matters a lot to us. How we go this level is also very important. As I mentioned, you want to see it goes like this in this formation, so as to have a confirmation that the bottom would be in, and it's forming like A, B, and C of something, not like having a bearish impulsive move. So that's all what I have. Thank you so much. I'm just going to uh, close the recording and then probably attend all your questions. Please do support this video by liking and subscribing, and also, ladies and gentlemen, please trade on Bybit to support the work. And also, if you would like to support my channel on YouTube, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel as well as a loyal supporter. Thank you so much. I'm going to attend all your questions. Bye bye.